So they're doing an hour and a half special live from Los Angeles with like a huge crowd. Then
Just Hawthorne Heights?
Yep, that's it. And it's AOL. Don't ask me why. Then they got 31 stations added yesterday. They're not even going to radio for 2 weeks. Out of those 31, 19 of them were major markets. Like, we're talking like Dallas, you know, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, like crazy big markets. And Best Buy took an order today for 250,000 records. So, I hope everybody's right. But we'll fucking see what happens now. 10 ounce million records.
I wouldn't be surprised. They sold 50,000 in a day.
Oh,
Their DVD.
they sold 50,000 yesterday.
That's what I'm saying, in a day.
DVDs,
comes out on
right?
Tuesday.
They sold 50,000 DVDs.
In an hour.
Well, in a day. There's none. You can't find one anywhere. They're gone. There is none. I got them to save us a couple. They're sending us a couple.
And they want that hard drive too.
They want the hard drive they called you today, right?
Which one?
Tell them in order to exchange a hard drive, you need some DVDs.
We have a backup.
I never sent the record label.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay.
Yeah, they called me for your number today. So congratulations, boys, on your second
Thank you.
platinum record.
Woohoo.
Right.
What about me?
Oh, you're like, you're filming this. I was like, wait.
Oh God, camera.
Now let's figure out a way for their record company to actually hear their album. Don't put that on tape. Don't put that on tape.
It's dark here.
So,
Mysterious.
we want to know how many records Virgin are going to ship.
Alright, so let me give you a tour. Let me give you a tour of the studio, dog. Okay, so you come in, you got this shit right here. It's got a bunch of knobs on it. You just slide them around and shit. And then, you know, you knock the shit off and break it. I don't even care. Clean it up. You got this shit over here. Doesn't really do anything because all the magic comes from right here. I just go in that little booth and I just chill, dog. And it makes it platinum.
You gotta go diamond, man. Fuck
And I
that.
seriously broke that shit.
Sorry, whatever. Won't talk about it.
This right here is the magic knob. This determines how much magic will go on the album. Right now it's at a.
Actually, no. This is the one that determines.
Oh, this is the magic.
That's just for us to hear.
Oh, okay.
So you know, monitoring 101.
So we got records.
Anthony, quit correcting the last one. He's blatantly wrong.
Sorry.
These are all the mics and stuff and shit for these little knobbies. Like these are Deke's guitars and my guitars.
So John, where are you at in the big
These are vocals, and right here is an X
I am almost done the double
for
piece.
X Factor.
Stop at any time.
This is the X stands for the X-Men. If something happens here, somebody falls or something, you know, we set up a clock right there if we need them. But if something really bad happens, we need the X-Men. We put it all the way up and they're here like fast as shit. But right now we're just gonna keep it down there because we don't want Wolverine showing up. We really got into this weird religion called Cococism. It's from Hawaii. It's a coconut. We kind of like worship that thing.
You want to do this thing? What were the questions again? That's a 10-minute question right there.
Give me a voice.
Hang on, I really want to.
What's upon a top? Sit on my lap. My lap, you mean face now.
It's approved.
I object.
Your Honor.
Fuck him. Can I see it?
Read them all. Basically, it's why I want to work in the band. It's like working in the studio. What are the elements that make RJ special? How did you?
Your answer to every one of these questions should be for the money. For the money. For the money. And for the record, you can quote me on this one for the money.
I'm not you.
Yeah. Who's got the $1 million house and who doesn't?
Dude,
you do, and
guess
I
what?
don't.
I've got 25 years on you, don't worry. You got all sorts of time to fuck
And your
up.
point is?
I'm gonna prove you.
Oh, that was real funny, didn't you, Bennett?
Billy Bob?
Hey, wait. One last thing, Duke.
He loves that note.
You know what? I'm not doing anything unless Elias takes his clothes off and comes in the middle of my interview naked. This motherfucker!
No, I'd be saying, look how big it is, mother. Oh, God.
All right, let's get this done.
Okay.
Ronnie, you're going to do a warm up? Why did I do Red Jumpsuit Apparatus?
You ready to roll?
Sure.
Yeah, because going over your years and experience we were talking about before, you know, your years and all the different artists you work with, why did you choose RJA to work with? You know, why did you want to work with this band?
I love working with young artists. I think it's really important for people my age that have been around a long time to help young, talented artists in making their records. I guess people would call me more of an old school kind of guy. I kind of figure if people are willing to listen to me, then I'm willing to share my ideas, and this seemed like a band that needed some help. All young bands need help, but this band needed some musical help, and they had great songs that just needed to be sort of worked with, and I feel that they were open enough to allow me to do what I do. So that was one real main reason that I wanted to work with them, because they were open.
What was that special thing about them?
You know, they typify to me everything that's sort of real about American Midwest music. Obviously, they're from the South, but they are very indigenous, which means, you know, their music sounds like what they see when they wake up. There's a beach thing that's really, really cool, and I think that there's a fantastic element of sort of the Southern country pop. It's really interesting that there's Lynyrd Skynyrd's in there, and you've got kind of like, you know, they'll hate me to say this, but a bit of Creed in there, and they've got sort of some country music in there. It's very strange, like how many influences they have, and you can tell sort of growing up in their houses, there was all sorts of this music played that you wouldn't get if you lived in Vermont. So, you know, their backgrounds are very interesting musically, certainly.
Can you explain the recording process then, both how you shape the music as a whole? Well, what was that process like working in the studio with them? And then how was it that you shaped them as a whole as the band, and then working with them on an individual level?
I think working with the band as a whole.
Can you say that again, working as a band as a whole? Yeah.
I think working with the band as a whole, the process was simple. We sat down, we went through the songs that were important. We talked about the lyrics, we talked about how we wanted to say things, we did some editing as far as the lengths of certain things go, and other songs we lengthened. What I like to do is, when I look at an album with a band, I like to treat everything as a body of work. You know, a lot of people like to just focus on a song, and we're in that sort of time where things are just so yesterday's news so quickly. But making a body of work allows a band the opportunity to listen to a snapshot of where they were at a certain point in their life. And to do that, you can't do that in 3 minutes. You have to do it over a period of 40 or 50 minutes, which is the length of the record. And with this band, there was many different musical ideas that we were able to really explore based on the fact that the influences of the band were there in the first place. So the process was really go into pre-production, make sure that we have the songs the way we want, and then coming into the studio was really a very smaller part of the process, because it was all about getting the performance, and that was the key to this band. You've got a singer like Ronnie who's, you know, extremely wild. I call him Axl Jr. He just reminds me of Axl Rose when Welcome to the Jungle came out. you know, Axl Rose was the bad boy, and he reminds me he's a bad boy in every way, and he loves that, and he plays it up, and he has a lot of personality, and I think that's, you know, where the magic starts in this band. That's the sort of the flame that kickstarts the burner that starts the oven up. He talks a mean game, and he reminds me of all the great things I love about rock and roll, whether that be, you know, Guns N' Roses or Van Halen or whatever it is, that era of 80s rock. He is one of those guys. He was just born at the wrong time. And Elias is the same way. I mean, these guys are rock stars. They believe in their heart they're rock stars. They don't come from rich families. They don't come from rich homes. They come from lower income families, and this is their dream, and they're living their dream. And people have to understand that when you get this opportunity, and they're not dumb. I mean, these are kids that read a lot. They're on the internet. They're very much looking to further expand their knowledge. They were a tough lot the first couple of weeks, no question. I mean, it was hard. First of all, what 19-year-old trusts any adult? None. So my job always as a 51-year-old is to gain their trust, and you have to kind of do that a number of different ways. You know, the first thing you have to do to any 19-year-old that most parents don't do is give their kid a voice. And if a 19 or 20-year-old doesn't feel that you're giving them a voice, then you're really just going to waste your time. So you can't become one of them, but at the same time you can't be an adult. So you have to stride the line. And it's an interesting line sometimes, because sometimes you find yourself being 19 when you're me, and sometimes you find yourself being, and I'm not going to tell you my real age because I'm an old guy. But the fact of the matter is, you have to integrate yourself into their world. But you have to do it through music. And I think that's what we've done. We've integrated music, and age became not an issue anymore, or backgrounds became not an issue anymore, because we both had the common passion of making great music. And I kind of treat all the bands I work with that way, because everybody has something to say. I'm one of these people that believes that a lot of records today are crap. And I think the reason that they're crap because no love went into making them when they were made. We've made, I say we, me and my team, have made this band play everything and sing everything on their record. We haven't given them any slack. We beat them all to hell. And they deserved it, and they had it coming, and there was times I'm sure they would have loved to have slapped me around the room. But you know, like our parents did when we kind of slacked off. They gave us some intervention. They gave us some tough love, and we listened to them. And that's kind of what I'm here for. I'm here to be their you know, helper, and at the same time to give them the respect that they deserve for coming up with this music in the first place.
Cool. Just a couple of things. You had mentioned Ronnie. Can we take up, like, give you a brief description on each band member?
Or each guy?
Yeah, an observation of each one. Say Ronnie was like, you got Ronnie in the can. A little more on Elias and all the rest of the four.
Okay.
And then basically we'll just take it from there. Just like.
Well, okay, sure. I mean, Ronnie Winter is a kid that's come from a very tough background. Now, you hear about that with a lot of people, but hearing Ronnie's story about his life, and I'm not going to get personal because it's his personal life, but certainly the kinds of things that Ronnie's been through are great food for thought for anybody growing up. You know, it's funny, in the old days they used to say that parents had a lot of kids, and now kids have a lot of parents. And basically, what I mean by that was that there's a lot of people in a lot of kids' lives all trying to do the right thing, and Ronnie's a kid that sort of found his own way, the tough way. And Ronnie holds the flame high for himself, as he should, and is very protective of his music, and he's very protective of his persona, and I think all for good reason. I think, you know, Ronnie's the kind of kid, you know, when you've had it as tough as he has had to be protective, and one thing I've tried to do with him is give him that space and that respect. I don't know what he's been through, and I'm not going to pretend I have, but I certainly have sat down enough to listen to and read his lyrics to find out what his moods are, and I try to recreate those moments in his life in the studio, and that's what we've been doing in here. We've been talking about how to recreate those exact moments, and I've had to become him and get my head around that, and that's been a lot of fun, and it's been sad too, but it's been an interesting ride. Let's talk about Elias. You know, Elias is the court jester. You know, in every band, there's that Tommy Lee. There's the guy that's gonna just be the biggest, you know, biggest fool around, and he's the court jester. But underneath that court jester is also this 19-year-old kid that is going to be a great guitar player and a great singer in his own right, and a writer as well. I mean, Elias is the sort of Keith Richards to the Mick Jagger, and that's how I see it. I know Duke has been in the band longer, but Elias, I think, has really sort of sparked the band and given some new life to the band, and he's a good-looking kid with the right image, and I think ultimately they're going to complement each other a lot. It's just putting up with all the freaking babysitting. But other than that, everything's fine.
And Duke?
Duke is the grounding force. He's the guy that, when there's an electric shock, you hold on to him because you're not going to catch the shock. He's a man of few words, but when he speaks, it means something. And I think he's the leveler in the band and sort of the quiet thinker. He's the guy watching everybody else running around and doing stuff. And while they're doing that, he's thinking about, what's best. So I kind of see him as the father figure of the band in a lot of ways. And I think someone that is very stable and very honest and it just really wants to get better at his craft and get better at his instrument, and has been there since the inception of the band. So you have to give him respect for hanging with Ronnie for so long, just for that alone.
And Joey?
Joey's a new kid. Joey's the kid that Joey just came to the best birthday party of his whole life and just sort of joined the band and sort of got on this train that was leaving the station and was lucky to get on it. And Joey's, not been playing bass a long time. But I think Joey's a very sweet kid and a very loving kid. He comes from a very loving family. I mean, Joey's the sentimentalist in the band.
And John?
John comes from tough. John's got a tough one. John's father was a great musician, so John had to live up to his father's. I have a son too that's doing the same thing. So you always want to kick your dad's ass, and now this is John's chance to kick his dad's ass. So John's just got something to prove every day. John's that kid that comes in and doesn't matter what's going on, even when he's nothing to do with him, he's got to prove it, and very competitive. But through the process of making the record, I feel John's, stopped listening to John as much as he has and started listening to what's going on around him. And I think that's the one thing I tried to work on with John more than anything was for him to open up and listen to things that are recommended with a clear view. And I think John's done a great job of adapting himself to that. It's hard. He's the new kid in the band. I mean, you have to understand with these bands, when they're 30 years old and you've been in the band for 12 years, they're still the new kid. And that's how people treat them. That's how bands are. I mean, Ronnie Wood is the new kid in the Rolling Stones to Keith Richards. And then, of course, there was two guitar players before him. So it's interesting how perception is in bands. It is much like a family, and this is a family that's a new family that's kind of starting out.
And he's coming tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Can you say that last sentence again? That was really well put.
I said bands are families, and this is a family that's starting out. And with all families, there's going to be dysfunction, and there's going to be love, and there's going to be all the sorts of things that happen in a family. And when a band decides they want to be a family, it's more than just saying we want to be a family. It's way more about how do we be a family. And it's funny when you're 19 years old.
Just pick it up from. Pick it up from. It was just 19-year-old. Bands are families.
Bands are families, and when you're 19 years old, it's hard enough being a 19-year-old. Most 19-year-olds want to get the hell away from their family. So when you find a band, you find a new family. And with that comes a whole lot of responsibility, and the last thing you want when you're 19, 20, 21 is more responsibility. So this has always been, an interesting thing working with young artists. I don't know if this was the best idea.
But we're getting.
That's all right.
We're getting what we need.
Yeah, we have what we need.
Okay.
But one quick question: how do you classify their music? Is it mod rock,
Everyone always asks me to classify everything I do as, what it is because they want to put it in the shoebox. Look, I've made 9 records this year. And if you had asked me what everyone was like, you can't classify music the way we did when we were listening to Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. But if I was to say right now that the Beatles were a pop group because they wrote She Loves You and Twist and Shout, there would be a lie missing completely about Hey Jude. I have to keep using these old references because they're so important. So when you talk about a band like Red Jumpsuit and you say, well, their first single's called Face Down and it's a punk pop song, well, that's great. But the fact of the matter is that the subject matter, if you actually listen to the lyrics, has nothing to do with something that is punk pop about God Save the Queen or Pretty Vacant that the Sex Pistols wrote. It's a story about abuse, and it's a story that's very relative to a lot of things because there's lots of different kinds of abuses, we all know. And there's verbal abuse and physical abuse and there's mental abuse, and we can keep going. So it's, what are they? They're a band that reflect the thoughts of what kids want to hear. So if you want to classify that as rock music, I always put it there because rock music has always been about 3 things. It's been about fucking, fighting, and dancing. And so I classify my music as those 3 categories on everything I work on. It has to fall into those 3 categories, otherwise it's not music. So this band is a little bit of each.
Perfect.
Excellent. Listen,
I didn't mean that.
the West Village is gonna love him. Right?
How'd it go? How'd the interview go? Was it intense? You sweating?
Tense. Michael G grilled him.
All right.
Dude, you
So
can't
dumb.
even pan over for 1 second. I can't believe you couldn't pan over for 1 second.
Turned on.
That's fucking great.
What's great?
Who's that?
You and
Is your fan club?
I can't believe you couldn't pan over for 1 second, dude, and get me fucking.
I don't like
Well, I
the way
couldn't.
that
You know why?
looks.
Why?
Because it's
Look at that
fucking
whole,
sound.
What?
you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
miss the audio.
The-
You should have went around in front.
Outside?
Just get any good fan mail?
We'll see. Hey, your band is awesome. Yeah, I know. God. You guys rock. Yeah. Tell me something I don't know.
and I'm not
Any
talking about
naked pictures?
learning.
This is the kind of comments I get. Elias, haven't seen you around lately. How's life, Nika?
Just do what you do. Guys, have a great session.
Elias has got, you got to do your guitars again on Face Down.
All right, let me
Yay.
just that.
21. And you got to do the
Just to see how he's doing. Hello, what up, boys? The Sandbar Boys
What's up? Weekends already. Wow, man, you're like
Dude,
getting
this is
earlier and
not
earlier
hating.
every day.
If you want hating, we've got real hating. You know what's hating? Look, let me tell you something about this shit that you're reading. Okay, right now, he's on MySpace. None of those girls really look like that. But he's one of those guys that think that they do, which is really unfortunate. They're really ugly.
No, they're
A lot of them.
not.
There's a lot of Photoshop going on, Elias. Don't believe MySpace.
They're all hot.
MySpace hits for Elias has been up. It's got to be 30, 40,000 hits a day. And that's just from small, sort of, well, they're not that big. They're midgets and munchkins. Some of them are actually 4 foot 5, 6. And
4 foot 5,
look
6.
Look at that one. She loves it. Let me read it to you. Dear Elias, nothing would be greater in this world than to go... oh, I'm sorry. I can't read that. Oh, that's a guy. I'm sorry.
I hope so.
You play like... oh, that's not true either. Notice there's a lot of girls on Elias's MySpace page. You know why? Because he hides the guys. That's a whole different Elias. What's that? What's his alter ego name?
Wait.
Fart?
No.
Did you?
Hey, Thrice wants to be our friend.
Seriously?
You're happy.
Well, that's one.
You want some Chinese? Come here. Somebody please share this with me.
Don't do it.
It'll go over there.
Don't go.
smell yet?
Are you endearing yourself to everyone again?
Dude, you're a
Dude, there's a rule in the studio about farting. Every producer has it. You don't fart in the fucking studio.
I broke that
Would you fart in a cop car?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, that's different.
Probably pee too.
There's a rule in the studio.
You don't fart.
You don't fart, you just watch and download porn of horses fucking men, right, Dave? That's what you
Real
think he
productive.
actually works
Real
when
productive.
really he really hasn't done anything other than download horses, huge horses fucking dudes. And they're like, oh god, oh yeah, and
That
then
wasn't me. That was our friend over there.
no.
He was the one with the dead guy from the horse. That wasn't my horse. I have a pony. I don't have a horse. I don't believe in anything.
Oh, you have a pony?
Look, Elias, whatever I have doesn't touch the fact that your girl's in bed at 9 o'clock. Not my fault.
Dude, maybe if you would just like chill out on her and, you know, like cut down the restrictions, me and your daughter would be fine. But, you know, you make her go in early.
Hang on, let me phone her mother and tell her that.
Oh my yeah.
Why do you
She'll get a gun out with a little red light.
Oh no, don't shoot me with a red light.
Gun.
Family Guy, wow. John is seriously fucking Peter from Family Guy. What's her last name? I can't remember. Oh, Griffin, that's right.
It's because you got super nervous. Forgot.
Nervous. Watch John let it freak out.
Yeah,
just
look
put the
how
camera on
nervous
John
John
for like
gets.
5 minutes.
Film him for a second. Watch how
he
nervous
freaks
he
out.
gets.
You see that hand go up? He goes like, ah.
What?
Look how nervous he is. He's already getting
No,
so
you
nervous.
guys are weird. Like everybody's looking at me.
Look how
What's
super
going on?
nervous he is. Nervous, King Kong.
Oh, yeah, you got Billy 15 times.
What was that?
Label, they just started a transgender label. I'm totally serious. It's called Sony's new gay transgender label. Their first release is Wayne County.
Sorry, guys, we got work to do. I quit the band.
It's called it's for nurturing lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered artists. The label is Music with a Twist. It's called.
Music with a dick.
No, music or without a dick.
Music with tits and a dick.
So
Music with tits and a dick.
there could be a whole
Kids.
future there.
Chicks with dicks.
Kyle. Dude, one time our friend got his dick sucked by a drag queen. It was the hottest thing I've ever seen. Oh.
That's the kind of stuff you don't tell the camera.
Nervous.
Nervous.
Look at
Look how
him,
nervous
dude.
he is.
He asked for it.
Look how nervous he is.
See it, he's like, oh, gotta do something. Gotta put my face in it. I'm so happy that Dave Benton looks like Adam Sandler.
Like who? Adam Sandler?
Kind of.
He gets good babes. Every movie.
Good what?
Babes. Adam
Good
Sandler.
babes.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He's always like with a hot co-star.
Other than Drew Barrymore.
That's true. Oh, you're right there. But she's Drew Barrymore.
Are their emailing list? Because I love them. Patrick Stump is my hero. It says Fallout Boy. Spring tour pre-sale starts tomorrow. The pre-sale for the Black Clouds and the Underdogs tour officially begins tomorrow, 3 p.m. Log in, falloutboyrock.com. Tomorrow afternoon to find out where to buy tickets. And then, sign up for the Transsexual Records contest of baked eggs. Nervous!
Oh yeah, I'm so nervous.
Please.
This is like the worst inside joke we have right now.
What joke? Do it again. Do it again.
You're not used to have inside joke.
Do it again. Do it again. Okay. How old are you, Laura?
I don't know.
Laura?
Yeah.
I love you.
I am.
How old are you? She's 4. Hello?
You working?
Dude, if you guys are waiting for Dave to be so productive.
Okay, look what he's looking up porn.
This is not porn. This is the industry stuff here.
Yeah.
You want to see porn? I'll show you some fucking porn.
Show us some. Dude, show us your horse videos.
Okay, hang on. I'll get them all up. This is Elias with the pony. I've actually photoshopped you in there now.
No.
Dude, and the pony looks small compared to you now.
It's because I'm hung.
What I really want to do right now is something really important on the internet that I do pretty well daily now. On MySpace, there's a special page. We won't talk about Hawthorne Heights because these guys are really sick. But what's your fan club? Where's your fan club?
Of the I Love Alive Paul Reedy?
Yeah, where is that?
Join now, kids. You can be important too.
How do I do this? What's it called?
I love
Elias.
I think that's it.
I love Elias. Now I started this fan club. I love Elias.
No, that's not it. Definitely not it.
That's
put in
not
my last name.
Reedy.
Oh, did you talk to her?
Is it okay for me to do that?
To put in my last name?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. My computer's, it's a Mac, so it's spinning. The hard drive's spinning around a little bit. Or he must have some kind of a weird. It says you're a 67-year-old female. So that is. How could that be you?
That is definitely me then.
So I've started the 67-year-old.
That is confirmation.
I think we're in. We got to get out of this whole thing right now.
See, this is what professionals do. Once you have the exact mix, you tape it down to the board, and that is the secret to having like
a great mix.
That's
it. It's
Dave's like.
I wouldn't.
Got it. Give me the tape.
I wouldn't say that my ideas are in stone, but I usually change everything though. See, like this fader. Sometimes that louder like that, or not so loud. Oh, what have I done?
But these are like.
Don't touch those. Don't even look at them. They go to 10. He goes to 10.
He really didn't want anybody to know his secrets, so we went outside while he was doing it. We walked in. He was blindfolded and going like this. We're like, dude, we know your secret.
Was he really?
John was being serious.
Definitely. No.
Okay, I'm almost ready to go again. How do you spell Reedy?
R-E-I-D-Y.
Oh, that's not even the right way. You sure?
Oh.
Oh, it's just throwing me back here. Everyone's computer has Elias Reedy's name on it because he goes to everyone's computer and logs in under himself. So now we have to change it. I don't even know my
password.
I don't even know what is it. I know.
Get it on computer. It's Jackie123. He's like, shit.
Okay, here we go. And now we can go to the real.
Skip this advertisement. It's gonna automatically load it probably. Either that or your page.
Oh, you know what? Loading my MySpace.
Oh, it's a group.
Are you part of that group?
I am so not part of that group.
Yeah, well, you're not cool.
hang on. Maybe I am.
Oh, maybe I am. I'm so not. Well, maybe.
Okay, hang on. Is there any,
all you gotta do is
any
go all the way
bulletins
up.
you got?
No, I don't do that. I've never even been on it, dude.
Where
I visited it like twice.
Where do I go?
Right here. If you're part of it.
Groups.
If you're cool, you'll have it in there.
I'm not part of your group.
Well, there you go. I guess you're not too cool.
So where do I go? What's your regular webpage?
Elias Reedy.
That's original.
Oh, you're just off the map, man.
I'm shut down, dog.
Oh, this is just
fun
not good.
today.
Dude, we are so...
Yeah, now do it. You have to do it www.
I know what we're doing. I'm under control. I found it. Orange Park. I've had oranges.
Not good at groups. Actually, just go down.
Okay, go down. What, right here?
Yeah, keep going. Come on.
Okay, yeah.
Go up. It's right there.
Okay.
Oh, my middle name was in it.
Oh, your middle name. Now, hang on
61 members.
61 members, and look at them. I mean, wait a minute. Who's Chelsea? She's drinking a beer.
They're all hot.
Dude, that
Junior high or high school drunk.
she's
chicks.
17.
Yeah.
You can't get her across the state line. Especially
If I was in Georgia, I could.
They still have the electric chair in Florida.
Yeah, I think so.
Angela's kind of cute.
Dude, they're all kind of cute.
This is Ashley.
Especially her.
This is Elias's family.
She's pretty cute. My manager's in there.
He's in there.
Yeah.
Your manager has his own webpage. Let's see, on MySpace. Oh yeah, he's very outdoorsy. Is he wearing loafers? Speaking of loafers, how is he? Oh, come on.
I don't get it, dude.
That's the same girl that's on your page.
Sure is.
She's just on everyone's page.
Barry.
Dave Oken.
Oh, look. There you go. That's a lot of love there.
Yeah, I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks.
Where did you hemorrhage?
My pee-pee?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I got my tonsils taken out. My pee-pee started hemorrhaging. And then Dave was like...
I don't think that was...
That's called menstruation.
That's called menstruation. I think you were coming on your period.
Once I found out.
What? No, I started hemorrhaging in my throat, John. Dude, that's the most physical activity you've done in how long?
Well, hang on. Do you count?
Does Z count?
Yeah.
Who's
Z? Z's my pet hamster. Yeah. I'm in a plastic bag.
What?
You don't know about that?
What, when you take a hamster, stick it in your butt?
Oh, you do know about that. You got that?
It's fucking great.
Get that.
Don't gay people like that shit? You stick like a PVC pipe in your butt?
Where do you think the name the Pet Shop Boys comes from?
Probably boys that worked at the pet shop.
Yeah. Exactly. They work something.
They work their heinies.
That's why
with gerbils and hamsters.
Mathematicians never get constipated.
Those big gerbils in the butt?
Not because they work it out with a pencil.
That's sick.
Fuck, that was so bad.
You got anything in your butt, Dave?
I got a joke for the camera. This has to go on the DVD. All right. All right. So there's these two guys, right? They're both rednecks. They're both from our town, Middleburg, Florida. Fucking rednecks. I'm just kidding. Let me start that over.
It's not impressive.
Okay. So these two guys, right? These two guys, they're both rednecks. They're on a fishing boat.
Boring.
Going fishing. And, you know, they get really bored because it's boring. And they're like, you know what, man? Why don't we play a game? And he's like, hey, man, it sounds like a great idea. And he's like, okay, well, listen. We'll play 21 questions. And he's like, I don't know how to play that. How do you play it? And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to think of a word, and I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper, and I'm going to put it underneath the cooler. And you have 21 questions to guess what the word is. And he goes, okay. So the guy's like, you know, what word would I pick? He's like, so he decides on donkey dick. He's like, donkey dick will be the word that I'm going to put underneath the paper. You know, underneath the cooler.
This was a line.
He's like, all right, man. All right, the word's underneath the cooler. So go ahead and take it. He's like, well, I don't know. Can you eat it? And he goes, well. The X is for the X-Men. It's for Wolverine.
There we go.
And then help comes in from the outside world. This is how we move the faders. Thank God.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's great.
Over the back.
Action. Oh, yeah.
Dave let me mix something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was really cool.
Oh.
He said, come here. And he sat me down
There we
right
go.
next to him, put his arm around me, touched my wee-wee.
Great. Excellent. We got that. Then I'm going to zip up. Okay. Pretend like you're in there. There we go.
I'm gonna go like this.
Joey, get out of the shot, quick!
Dude, you just broke it.
Can you do this thing where you put your arm around me?
Do you like that?
No,
Do something. Do something stupid.
Do this thing that you always do.
No.
What a knob.
Shut. Oh God.
Oh.
Here. Now you gotta. Did I do that? What the fuck? Now you gotta show them how you work your magic. Here. This is Dave's secret, guys. You wanna make millions of dollars?
My reflection.
We should hear that.
This is Dave's secret right here.
Right here. What you do is this: when you're working with a young band, the first thing you gotta learn is to shut your mouth.
Is the mic even on?
Yeah.
Oh, Bender, I'm sorry. You gotta do the I am.
That was great.
This is what happens when you're working with David Bender.